Hello and welcome back to the Third Rail. We have a new addition to the collection this week. I just received this Dutch mP3000 mail transport unit and I thought we should have a first look at it together. We'll start with a quick model overview as usual. This model is a so-called export model produced in 1989 and 1990. You'll find it on page 4 of the 8990 Export Models brochure. This model was available in several configurations under different model numbers. We had two 3-rail versions, the analog 3389 and digital 3689, as well as a 2-rail DC version, the Hamo 8309. The model was first sold exclusively to Benelux customers in 1989 and became available worldwide in 1990. On to a few vital statistics. The model measures a whopping 27 centimeters buffer to buffer. It is made of a metal chassis and plastic housing. It is fitted with working pantographs. My version is equipped with an electronic reverser. It controls a 3-pole motor of the DCM type, driving 2 axles equipped with 4 traction tires. The model is fitted with directional lighting made of 3 white and 2 red LEDs at both ends. It is also equipped with name-style pockets and fitted with removable short couplings. Now let's move on to a quick overview of the prototype for context. Ever since its inception, the Dutch railways, the NS, had been transporting mail on passenger trains. This frequently caused delays due to the constant loading and unloading of mail. In the 1950s, it was decided to start transporting mail in dedicated trains whenever possible. An opportunity to act on this decision presented itself with the withdrawal from passenger service of so-called MAT-24 electric motor carriages, also known as block boxes. Between 1956 and 1960, 25 units were converted into a new series of postal motor vehicles, the mP9200. The mail could now be transported independently from passengers at comparable speeds using electric traction. In the 1960s, the Dutch Mail and Telephone Company, the PTT, ordered 35 purpose-built vehicles to replace the mP9200s. The series was developed and built by Werkspoor in Utrecht. The design was based on MAT-64 passenger multiple units, which had recently entered service. The new series received the class number mP3000. Operationally, the NS would take over the maintenance and supply the driving staff. The 35 units were delivered between 1965 and 1966. The mP3000 could reach a service speed of 125 km per hour and carry 15 tons of mail. They were fitted with conventional couplings and buffers to make it possible to connect to existing mail carriages of type Plan C, Plan E and Plan L, for example, as well as freight wagons. Multiple train control of up to 3 mP3000s was also possible. Initially, the postal motor units were painted red-brown. For better visibility, a large yellow stripe was soon added at both ends, and between the mid-70s and the mid-80s, the engines were repainted in a combination of corporate colours, the new NS yellow and the PTT red. With the privatisation of the PTT, the units received a new livery from 1989 onwards. During the 1970s, the separation of mail and passenger traffic was accelerated with the construction of dedicated infrastructure. This formed a network of large sorting centres and platforms, the PTT Sternet. The mP3000 was a pillar of this system. Additional hauling capacity was added in 1979 with the introduction of purpose-built mail wagons of type HBBKKSS. After its privatization in 1989, the PTT decided to move away from rail. From 1992 onwards, the mP3000 were progressively taken over by the NS. This process lasted until the final mail transport by rail in 1997. Units were reassigned mostly to internal NS duties, for example light freight or route learning. A few were converted to measurement units. Some were also transferred to Rallian or ProRail. But it proved difficult to find a real purpose for the mP3000. As a result, these and all other remaining units were ultimately scrapped. Aside from a few measurement units which might still be in existence somewhere today, only 2 mP3000 remain and are in preservation. There is one unit in the Spoorwegen Museum, the 3031, which is in original livery, and the 2454 Crew Foundation as Unit 3029 in the last PTT livery of the 1990s. This completes the high-level overview. I have put credits and links to useful information I have used to produce this overview in the video description below. Right, let's have a look at my 3389 now. Here it is in a somewhat overexposed shot. My apologies for that. Let's start by looking at the condition of the box. Everything is in order. It's the right box, the right tray. The box has a few storage marks, but that's to be expected. Yes, nothing to complain about. Let's take the tray out of its box. I just need to find the right way around. There we go. So the plastic blister pack seems to be intact. That's good. We're going to take it out. This reveals the model already. The instructions are present. That's also a good thing. Right, let's get the model out of its tray now. The sleeve is a bit yellowed. That's a disease with packs from this era. We'll take it off, and the model looks in good order. Right, I'm going to take the model out of its tray and put it on a presentation rail, and we'll have a closer look. Well, there we are, and I don't think that things look bad at all. We can see that the livery applied to the model is the pre-privatization livery. That would explain why the model was only in production for a single year. In fact, Märklin issued a new version of this model in 1990-1991 under model number 3388 to reflect the changes following the privatization of the PTT. If we look around the model, I'm really struggling to find anything wrong with it. The paint is in excellent order. There's no scratches. Yes, everything is in very good order. I like the quirkiness of the design of the prototype. It's really bizarre compared to usual railway design. Right, let's have a look at the chassis now. And yes, the model has been used, and I think rather heavily. It's not a problem usually if you know how to do a bit of maintenance. And if we look at the roof, it's also in excellent condition. The pantograph look to be in good order. Right, it's time to move to the layout and see if the model behaves as well as it looks. And here we are. I'm going to rail the model. Just need to make sure the wheels are in the right place. Looks like they are. Let me check the front. We are okay. Okay, it's time for a bit of power. We are moving. The reverser is working. The lights are operational as well. Yeah, everything looks functional. It sounds a bit bizarre. It doesn't respond well to the throttle. maybe a few rounds around the layout will fix that. Let me set myself up. We'll give the signal a green and we're off. Yeah, it's a bit sluggish. And we're getting stuck on the first curve. That's a good start. Yeah, there's definitely a need for a bit of maintenance. Let me try and get the engine back. Yep, we're going forward again. Yeah, not great. And it's a bit wobbly as well. Yeah, it's braking or slowing down far too much on the braking section. And then jumping into life. Okay, I'm going to give the unit a few rounds around the layout. Maybe things will improve. We'll see. Yes, this engine really doesn't like my braking sections at the moment. Right, I'm going to speed things up a bit. And after a few rounds, things didn't improve one bit. So I definitely need to do some heavier maintenance on this engine. So I'm afraid we're not going to see much more of it today. Before I pack the engine away until I get to do some maintenance, I'm going to do a quick clearance check on the curved sections of the ramp. That's usually where this type of engines get stuck. So I'm going to move it slowly onto the curve, and then I'll have a closer look to see if anything's touching. Looks okay from here. Let's get a bit closer. The side looks okay. Yep, fine. Let's have a look at the buffers. Okay on that side. Let's move to the front. We are fine too. So we are going to move a bit further up. Let's see if the engine can negotiate the bridge sections. Looks okay. Yeah, fine. I didn't hear any noises. I'm going to move the engine back onto the last curve section. There we go. A bit further up. And then we'll move a bit closer to see what's happening there. So if I move the unit by hand and check the clearance, we're fine at the back. Let's move to the side. We're fine to there, and we should be okay on the other side. Yes, we're fine. Some maintenance. I might film it, so we'll stop the video here for today. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. It's very much appreciated. Please help the channel getting a bit more traction by hitting the subscribe button, your notification bell, and maybe the like button from time to time. That's very rewarding and keeps me going. Thank you very much for this. Bye for now.